Okay, so in this episode, we're going to talk about an amazing producer, but also an amazing R&B artist. And they haven't disappointed so far. So I can't wait to talk about it because it's kind of interesting that this came together. I think this came out of the blue, and it surprised a lot of people. It surprised me that we got this, right? Because I wasn't sure what was going to be on the song, and we got it. We got what we have. So, okay. So these two artists and this producer and slash artist are amazing at what they do separately. Without a doubt, I think Diddy, or Love, what he has now changed his name to, right? Without a doubt, has made some amazing music, produced some amazing music for people like Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar. Without a doubt, I think Diddy is one of the most amazing producers to ever touch music. I think Diddy doesn't get as much credit as he once should. I know with the complications with the complications in the early 90s, he doesn't get as much credit. And I think that's a weird thing to do because he's from New York. So New York's known to have great producers, great artists. And Diddy is a great artist, a great producer too. The second artist is a guy that created an album for his first project ever and blew the world. Took a couple years off, released another one. Took 2 years off, released another one. Took a hiatus, came back with an album, and did amazing numbers. He's also from Kentucky. So, without further ado, let me introduce the second guy. And, man, I'm sorry. Bryson Tiller. Bryson Tiller, without a doubt, is making himself an R&B legend to be rocked with. And I think, without a doubt, Gotta Move, which is released recently from Diddy and Bryson Tiller, I think shows a collab that I think a lot of people wanted, but a lot of people weren't sure where the collab was going to go. Real quick, let's see if we have any sponsors, and then we'll get right into it of this song, Gotta Move, with Diddy and Bryson Tiller.
Hey, it's Kaylee Cuoco for Priceline. Ready to go to your happy place for a happy price? Well, why didn't you say so? Just download the Priceline app right now and save up to 60% on hotels. So whether it's Cousin Kevin's Kazoo Concert in Kansas City, go Kevin, or Becky's Bachelorette Bash in Bermuda, you never have to miss a trip ever again. So download the Priceline app today. Your savings are waiting.
Go to your happy place for a happy price. Go to your happy price, Priceline.
Okay, so I have to say that this song did live up to some of the hype that it had going into the song that I didn't think it was going to keep, right? Because you hear Bryson Tiller, you hear Diddy did a song together, you're like, okay, the hype around this song is great, a great producer, a great R&B artist. And then you get Bryson Tiller that starts it off and saying, she doesn't want it. I guess she doesn't want it. I gotta move on. I gotta move on now because of her not loving me or wanting my affection whenever she wanted. She doesn't want me, so I gotta move on. I gotta be a better person because they don't want me right now, and I'm not. And when you get in these situations when you're in a like or a love with somebody and they don't want to reciprocate it, it is better to move on. So that's why the song's Gotta Move On, but you hear it, you're like, I gotta move on, because clearly she wasn't giving me as much as I needed. I had strong emotions for them, but they didn't have strong emotions for me. And I think that's the shorthand of this whole song, but I think it's a weird thing because I've never heard the chorus from a Bryson Tiller and a Diddy, so I wasn't sure how that was gonna go. And then Bryson Tiller opens up again. He says on his actual verse, he says, I tried to give it all to you. I tried to give you a Mercedes, a new car, and a baby, but you weren't happy. You didn't want to give me any time. I told you your love was too lazy. Like, your love didn't seem like it was all about me, or you couldn't express it well enough. So I gotta move on. I became, and it would get so frustrating because I think, now this is just my take, to the car, people might say, well, when you're in a relationship, you should buy cars or spend money on that person, right? But a new Mercedes, a 2002 Mercedes, 2022 Mercedes, I don't know why I'm saying, the year seems weird to me. And a brand new Mercedes cost a pretty penny. Now, Mercedes cost a lot of pretty penny anyway, but a brand new one in 2022, that costs a lot of money. And then a newborn baby is crazy to me because you would think, to have a baby with somebody, you would think the two people would be deeply in love with each other. However, it says your love was lazy. It was too lazy, as I didn't feel like I was being loved. So I did all of this and I didn't get it reciprocated. And that's why I say, learn the person you're in a relationship's love language, because if you don't, it's not really gonna work, because somebody's not gonna feel loved, and it's gonna end up saying, I gotta move on because I gotta move on. He also says, I also got you a ring, but I was going too deep and probably too fast for you. So, which I think, is probably how a lot of people feel going into the summer, necessarily, or at some point in their life, they were in love with somebody, and then, it's better to love than not to love at all, is that famous quote. But he talks about it. He says, I'm done fighting. I'm done trying and I'm done fighting. Clearly you weren't into me when I was fully invested in you, so I'm done trying to be involved with you. And I think that's the nicest way to put it, I think, so far I've seen. But then Diddy brings it back to his verse, or his chorus, or the bridge, really. It sounds more like a bridge, but that's how he ends the song. He says, we're going up, we gotta live, stay in get your bag or get your money, stay in there. Don't let anybody get your focus off your money. Which is basically what he's saying. But now you want to talk when I'm getting in my own bag and reinventing myself. Like, getting to love myself. Now you want to start talking to me again. Now isn't a problem. And he says, I'm never going to be, and he makes this point of saying, I'm never going to be an option. Where he says, I can never be no one's option. And I think it's a weird thing to go, it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing to think about, but there are a lot of people that don't feel like they want to be options. And I think it's just because slowly people have realized it. And so how Bryson Tiller ends this song is just sums it up. If you're in one of those like relationships or friendships or something where you don't feel like the love reciprocated, sometimes you just got to move on. Sometimes people are only in your life for seasons. And he says, and Bryson Tiller ends it with, find your peace. Sometimes you just gotta find your peace, and sometimes that peace is within yourself. It's a hard struggle. I know when I say when he says find your peace, people are like, "What you mean find your peace?" I thought my peace was with that person. Sometimes that peace you're looking for is within your inner self, which I think Diddy and Bryson Tiller have found their peace. If you ask them, I think they found their peace. And so this is why I think this song is perfect, because we're still rolling in the summer for some people, and so to find your peace in the summer, I think that's find peace within yourself is what I think he's trying to say. And then I think we might begin Serenity at some point, because he keeps mentioning Serenity at the end of each song he's put out recently, so I'm not sure. So I think overall, I do think this Diddy and Bryson Tiller track did hold up a lot of weight than I expected. Like, I had a lot of hopes for this, but I think it beat that a little bit. So overall, I'm going to give this song a 7.9 out of 10. Because I like it. I do like it. And I have to say, this does seem like the more confident Bryson Tiller we've heard recently, right? Like, he sounds very confident in his vocal range, and I think that's because of Diddy being able to really pull it out of Bryson Tiller. Diddy has been able to pull out vocals from a lot of people, and I think this is why this collaboration was one that people really wanted, because this was the song that at some point needed to be done, a collaboration that needed to be done, because we knew Bryson Tiller had a future in music, and Diddy just seemed like the person that could do it. So, overall, 7.9 out of 10 rating on the song, and they both held their own weight doing it, so I'm not really mad at it because they both held their weight. So, yeah, it's not terrible. I do like it, though. Hope you enjoyed this episode.